And we're back. Okay. So let's finish our conversation up on the Tigers. We pretty much said everything we had to say about them going forward. There's a lot of positive hope. And we'll see how the season plays out. Now, though, we want to transition back over to football because we like to keep you on your toes. What we're going to do is we're just going to run down through
Each division,
both conferences.
We're going to pick a winner.
Division winner, and basically like support your division winner, and I guess we could pick the loser too. Who finishes first, who finishes last. So starting it off with the AFC East. Miami, New England, Buffalo, New York Jets. I've got Buffalo winning that division, and I've got the Jets finishing last. Josh Allen's going to possibly win MVP this year. Stephon Diggs is going to have another great year. New England, sure, they made a lot of good roster moves. They brought in some good tight ends, but they've got a rookie quarterback. They just traded their running back. I don't see New England doing much. Yeah, Buffalo wins it. New York Jets finish last.
So I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I think if Miami beats the Patriots today, Miami could win the division.
Based on one win?
Based on one win.
No. Okay. So you're taking Miami?
I'm taking Miami for a winner. I'm also picking the Jets to lose. I'm not as in-depth football, so I could be terribly wrong, but I'm picking Miami.
All right. Moving right along, AFC North. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Baltimore. I've got Cleveland winning that division. And I've got Cincinnati finishing, even though they're winners today, I got them finishing last.
I'm agreeing with Cleveland. Cleveland, Pittsburgh coming up just behind them. Mm-hmm. And then because of Baltimore's injuries, they're finishing last.
You think Baltimore's going to finish last? Cincinnati's going to finish third?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty possible. But I'm still going to put Cincinnati last just because I think their win today was fluky. I'm surprised that they even got that win against the Vikings. I think the Vikings are a better team than that.
There's a guy following Twitter. He has a YouTube channel called Urinating Tree. He's like, yeah, I've never heard anyone talk about the Bengals for the last 20 years. So,
no.
I think they're going to do better than Baltimore just because of the injuries, but they're not going to do well.
But we both got Cleveland winning the division. That offense is just too good. There's way too many weapons.
Mayfield is just too good.
And that defense was already good last year, and they got better by bringing in an even better safety. Josh Johnson, I think is his name. His last name is Johnson. I believe they got him from the Rams. So moving right along. AFC South. Houston, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, Tennessee.
Ooh.
I've got, even with the loss today, Tennessee's going to rebound. This is an extra game season, so this is almost like it doesn't count, but it does count. But I've still got Tennessee winning that division, and honestly, I'm not convinced Houston finishes last. We saw Jacksonville start the season last year 1-0 and then lose like 7 in a row after that. So one win doesn't tell me anything. And Indianapolis losing doesn't tell me anything either. I got Tennessee winning it, Houston finishing last.
I think you're right about Tennessee, but I think Jacksonville's made too many changes this year, and they're not going to do as well as Houston.
Really?
I think
they already beat them today, so...
I'm also a little jaded that they dropped Tebow. I think with Tebow they don't lose the division, but without Tebow they lose the division.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee, they have too much offensive firepower. A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill. They did lose a good tight end, but no. Tennessee's gonna rebound from this loss this week, and I think they win that division. To round out the AFC, we have the AFC West, which includes the Chargers, the Broncos, the Chiefs, and the Raiders. I've got the Kansas City Chiefs winning that division, and I've got Denver coming in last.
I'm not sure about this one.
What's not to be sure about? Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Nicole Hardman, defense.
I've heard good things about the Chargers. So it's another... I feel like a toss-up between those two.
No, the Chargers have a new offensive coordinator, new head coach. A lot of stuff is changing there. I mean, they brought back the same quarterback who won Rookie of the Year. Great quarterback, Justin Herbert, but They already had injuries at running back, didn't they? No, that was the other Los Angeles team. That was the Rams. So they maybe, but no, I'm gonna go Kansas City to win that division. I think once we get into like the thick of it all, and we're talking like weeks 8, 9, 10, when every team's pretty much like in the groove, they're kind of set where they're gonna be. They've made the roster adjustments they need. They've worked things out. We're going to see the cream rise to the top. I think the Chargers go 10-7 this year and come in second, but the Chiefs are going to go 12 or 13 wins, either 13-4, 12-5, and they're going to win that. Probably get the first round bye. But let's jump over.
So I'll agree with you on those picks.
Okay, let's jump over. So we had Kansas City winning, Denver losing. Jumping over to the NFC, starting with the NFC East, Philadelphia, New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, the Washington football team. This division's kind of a toss-up, but I got to give it to the Dallas Cowboys. If they stay healthy, they're going to run away with it. They played really, really tough against the Super Bowl defending champs in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dak threw for over 400 yards. Ezekiel doesn't look as sharp, but I think the Dallas offense is going to be too much to contain. When it comes to division play, I could see the Cowboys going 6-0 in their division this year. Straight up. Every other team, I mean, the Washington football team has got a great defense, but when you're talking just putting up points, going point for point, Dallas is going to run away with it.
I just don't like Dallas, so I'm going to go with Philadelphia.
I actually think that Philadelphia, when it's all said and done, is going to finish last.
Again, I'm not very in-depth on football. Philadelphia for the win, the Washington football team for the lose.
All right. Now this is the fun division, the NFC North, which includes your Detroit Lions, the Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Slackers, and the Minnesota Vikings. Unfortunately, I've got to give it to the Packers. They're going to win the division.
There's no other choice.
Nope. And I got to say, the Lions are going to come in last. I want to see us do well, but let's be real. Let's be realistic with ourselves.
I'm not going to be realistic. The Vikings come in last.
Okay. That's possible, but
I just have hope for Detroit.
Okay. I'm sorry. I have to. I mean, this means nothing, but I think we're going to come in last.
One of us has to be the stereotypical overconfident Detroit fan.
Oh, yeah.
That's me this time.
Keeping it chugging right along. NFC South.
Tampa Bay.
Got Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, I think Tampa is the clear front runner for division winner.
Who did Carolina play this week?
The New York Jets.
The Jets?
Mm-hmm.
That's Carolina comes in last.
Yeah. I want to say that.
Unless the Saints are terrible.
I still think Atlanta's going to finish at the bottom.
I agree they'll be at the bottom, but
I think we're going to see like a 5, a 6, and a 7-win team. I think Atlanta gets 5, New Orleans gets 6, or Carolina gets 6, New Orleans gets 7, and then you're going to see Tampa Bay with like 12 to 13 wins. I mean, there's going to be a lot of separation.
It's going to be Tampa Bay and then the rest of them.
Okay, and now we didn't even plan this. But essentially we're saving the best for last. This is the toughest division in football without a doubt. And if you don't agree, then you're wrong. The NFC West, consisting of the San Francisco 49ers, the Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, and the Los Angeles Rams. And at this point when we're doing this, 3 of those teams are undefeated, and the last team hasn't played yet at 1-0. So
I think because the way the 49ers played in the second half against the Lions, they are not going to win the division.
No?
Because they gave up too soon. They got the lead and they said, okay, we're just going to coast in. And if they're going to do that against the Lions and just let them come back like that, I don't think they win the division because of that. They don't lose, but they don't win.
I'm going to go with dark horse, the Rams to win the division. Because I got Matthew Stafford, and I really don't know. It's really a toss-up. And unfortunately, I think Arizona is going to finish last. Now they're not.
So do I.
Now this is going to be one of those divisions.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks win.
You say they finish first?
Yeah, Seahawks first, Arizona last.
Now, this looks like the division where it could be, the Rams are sitting there with like 12 wins. And I think, you see like San Francisco with 11. And then you've got like Seattle with 10. And then Arizona right below them with like 9. Like, I don't know schedule-wise if it's possible. But yeah, I think each team will be within a game, whether it's like 12-11, 10-9, 13-12, 11-10. However it shapes up, it's going to be an extremely competitive division, and those division games are going to mean a lot more because when it comes down to it, you could have a tiebreaker. There could be 2 12-5 teams, and their division record, separates them. But, I mean, look at it. San Francisco got the best defense. Arizona just has so many weapons. Seattle, always contender. I mean, they all have studs on both sides of the ball. I mean, Seattle looks like it has probably the worst defense of all those teams, and they're kind of known for their defense. And it's not bad. It's just gotten a little bit older. San Francisco is young and good. Arizona is a mixture of young and old, but they just added J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
The L.A. Rams, they're still star-studded. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, those two guys alone are superstars.
And then Matt Stafford he's not quite on that level there yet.
Well, I don't know. It depends on who you ask. Some people had him as like the 6th best quarterback in football. Like they had him as like an elite tier quarterback.
I think just because he didn't have anybody to throw to in Detroit, he's not there yet. But because he has people to throw to now, he will be there.
Yeah, that's true. So, and you know what's funny is I honestly believe that even with Kansas City, after we saw last year, we could get a Super Bowl winner out of the NFC West.
Or Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so it's my Super Bowl frontrunners are the Rams, the Buccaneers, the Chiefs, and the Cleveland Browns. If I got to go with an extra team, Buffalo's up there. I think they're going to be super competitive. Tennessee's good. They can be really competitive. San Francisco could. There's a lot up in the air. This is just, we're halfway through the games of week one. But that's why I wanted to try and do these. So let's jump ahead then.
Yeah, you just wanted some predictions real early to show how stupid we are when the season ends.
But this will be fun to look back on. Let's wrap up then with our AFC and NFC matchups, and then who do you predict is making the Super Bowl? So let's start with the AFC. Who do you think's in the AFC Championship? I know who I want.
See, I don't even remember what teams we're wearing.
So I'm thinking the AFC, we're going to get a rematch of last year. We're going to see the Chiefs. And I'm going to say it. No, I can't. Because I think the Browns are going to go further than that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Browns.
I'm going to pick the Browns and the Bills to play in the AFC Championship. And I think the Browns edge them this year.
I'm going to go Browns, Kansas City with Browns edging them out.
So you got Cleveland and Kansas City. Cleveland making the Super Bowl. I've got Cleveland and Buffalo with the Browns making the Super Bowl.
So either way, the Browns are...
We think the Browns are doing it this year. It could happen. In the NFC, I do believe Matthew Stafford, it's going to be his year. I'm putting all my chips in there.
Tampa Bay Rams.
Yeah. Yep.
Bucs,
absolutely.
Rams.
Bucs, Rams.
And I think
the Rams do it.
I think Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. And that he's going to edge him out, but it's going to be a close one.
But I think Father Time, some point this year, he's going to catch up with Tom Brady.
I think he's got one. I think this is his last.
His last rodeo.
He says he's not hurt this year. He feels great. I think this is the last one.
He did look good. He looked really good against Dallas.
I think this is the last year, and then next year Father Time will catch up.
I mean, if he got 8, he'd have more than every team. He'd be the leader. He'd have more rings than the Patriots, more rings than the Steelers, more rings than the 49ers. He already does. I mean, he's tied with them right now. He himself has 7. And he's played for 22 years. And you're talking these organizations that have been around for hundreds of years. 75 to 80 years is about average right now. I think San Francisco is celebrating 75 years. Yeah, football's not as old as baseball.
No.
I was thinking like the Cincinnati Reds have been around for like 150 years, but then you've got football teams that are like considered like
you've got football teams that expanded in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's baseball teams too that expanded. Remember the Rays?
But not that early. The Rays are like they're still like.
What about the Washington Nationals? When did they become a team?
When they
2002, 2003.
I think that's when they moved to Washington.
But where were they playing before? Because they were the Montreal Expos at one time.
I think it was an 80s thing.
The Expos?
I think so. I could be wrong.
Vlad?
80s thing.
I don't know. We'd have to look it up. Either way, Tom Brady's a legend. He's a GOAT. He happened to go to the University of Michigan. Personally, I still don't really care for him that much. He's won enough. And he wasn't that spectacular at Michigan. I'm not one of those bandwagon fans that jumps all over Tom Brady because he went to the University of Michigan. Guess what? Kirk Cousins was a Michigan State Spartan, and I can't stand the guy because he's a Viking. Like, shit happens. Sure, when Tom Brady was at Michigan, was I probably happy that Michigan won? Yeah. But now that he's in the NFL, he doesn't play for the Lions. I didn't really care for the Patriots. I mean, they were kind of cool to watch back in the day.
It was fun to watch because everybody good was there, but...
Well, yeah, when they had Randy Moss and everything. But now that he's a Buccaneer, I don't care.
I want to see him do well, but I don't care if the Bucs do well.
So that's all I've got. I hope you've enjoyed this sports special, and it's
just to finish off our predictions there.
Oh yeah,
I think Cleveland's going to edge out the Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, just because of age.
Yeah, I would say
Baker Mayfield's a little more spry.
I would say Cleveland edges Los Angeles Rams for the Super Bowl, but we will get to see Matthew Stafford make his first and second playoff wins. And he'll get to the Super Bowl, and the Rams will probably blow a 23-point lead or something, kind of like the Falcons did.
It happens.
It could be a shootout. We could just see Baker Mayfield just lobbing passes up there. OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. There's so many stars out there. Austin Hooper. They just got so many weapons, and I think the same for the Rams. But it comes down to who stays healthy, and the depth for Cleveland we saw last year. If OBJ goes down, your number one receiver, they actually got better. Their offense works better without him. So, yeah, I think this is the year Cleveland does it. But until next time, as always, thanks for stopping by. Smash that like button, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, follow us on Twitter @Mitteneers. I'm @Chris Carson.
@Dane3PO.
So yeah, check us out. See you next time.